Yesterday, go for any designing of electrical vehicle and what are the requirements. If you want to understand the requirements, definitely we should know the vehicle mechanism. And definitely know some basics about that. Actually, in fact, we are not going to deal or we are not going to learn complete things. What is required as a vehicle? Okay, if I required as a vehicle, I think we all studied in the school level itself. So there are then suppose any vehicle move on the ground, so automatically it will also offer the resistance. Okay, resistance to movement. Okay, so if it is offer the resistance, so if tractive effort that can be created by any vehicle, that should be beyond the value. That should be beyond the resistive force offered by the ground. And also, it is required. It is must if you want to move on any ground. So there should be a considerable amount of resistive should be there. Okay, that already we have discussed when I introduced the particular subject. Coefficient of dragging. Suppose any vehicle that is moving in the medium called the air, so automatically the coefficient of dragging is very much needed. At the same time, that resistance also should not be very much less, like slipping. Okay, suppose any very soft, a smooth surface means automatically what will happen? There is a possibility of skidding. So definitely there is a need of some resistive forces because actually whatever may be the tractive effort that you have created in the vehicle, that is only going to be uh, by using that particular resistance of at that point only it is applied. In that only it is applying and against that it is start moving. Without that the vehicle cannot move or without that only wheels will rotate. Suppose if you assume that there is no very soft surface, okay, if there is a possibility of slipping. So whatever the vehicle rotation that is a propulsion power we are giving that will make to rotate the wheel only. But because of the proper not having contact and have offer the resistance by the ground, it is it will be simply slipping. So vehicle will be in the same place or maybe slightly only move. The remaining effort will be wasted only. So already we have discussed three Newton's laws. So what Newton laws one says, two says. As far as this our vehicle movement is concerned, mainly two and three playing a very important role. That is nothing but F is equal to ma. So any vehicle that will be as per the Newton's first law, if it is in a continuous rotation, it will be always tend to be in continuous rotation only, unless otherwise external force is applied. Okay, I just we'll recollect and we'll go. So that is usually called as a law of inertia. Every object in a state of uniform motion tends to be remain in the same state only. So until the external force is applied to that. Okay. So here, what is happening is, suppose if it is any vehicle, okay, any vehicle ideal or standing, okay, ideal or standstill only means automatically it will remain in the standstill position only. So there is a much effort that has to be need external force to be applied in order to make it rotating. So that is why it is called as a law of inertia, moment of inertia. It's a dead weight of the vehicle, okay, in addition to the gravitational force. So that is as per the Newton's first law, that is vehicle in standstill. So it will be want to be in a standstill position. So there is a need of some external force that can be created inside the vehicle by which we can able to move. So if you that is called a tractive effort, that is called tractive force. Tractive force. So the tractive force has to be applied to on a vehicle means where it is having a contact between the ground. So in there only it is really applying and going. How we are walking. So automatically when we are walking, if there is no any place to put our effort for walking, so how will we can move? We cannot move. No? So likewise, if the particular surface is very soft also, we may not walk, we will slip only, we will fall down only. In the same case, it is applicable for the vehicle also. As far as the second case is second law is concerned, so very clearly, so we can able to suppose a relationship between what's the relationship between mass acceleration forces, force equal to mass into acceleration. So any acceleration force or vectors, yes, they're having a direction. Okay. So if you are applying any external force, that will create change in the velocity. Change in the velocity. Because of change in the velocity, acceleration can be changed. So it will not going to stop or it will not going to prevent. Okay. So it is going to be affect in terms of change in the velocity only. Okay, so that law also we are going to take. So this is what offered by the ground. Here for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Suppose if we assume that any vehicle is standstill, okay, so automatically the dead weight of the particular vehicle and etc. will apply a force. That force will be transferred to the earth through the contact points of the tires. So for tires we are having means, suppose if we are looking to the four tires means through the four tires only the entire pressure, entire weight is standing still. Okay, okay, that is on the standstill position on the ground. So in that case, if okay, if equally if not distributed, okay, equally is not distributed, what will happen? So there is a problem. Okay, it may be oscillating or it may be sliding or it may be coming down. Suppose in a slope like that is position, if you are trying to make the vehicle stand without any brake arrangement and etc., means automatically what will happen? It will be keeping down and coming down, and it will try to occupy where it will be, can be stand still. So that type of resistance should be offered. So automatically ground also against the pressure. As a result of load, there will be pressure on the ground. Against the pressure, ground also offering some force. Okay, so that force is keep on varying also. When the vehicle is moving, we can able to divide the entire contact points of the tire as a two region. Okay, one is a leading region and then one is a trailing region. Okay, I will explain. So first we will see the diagram. I will explain. Are you all able to see this diagram?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I have taken an example case, a vehicle in uphill movement. Actually, here I have shown some dotted lines. I will highlight that. So if you see, I have shown some. So here you can able to see it is a ground. It is a ground. Okay. So from that ground, there is a one road is going. Then the one road is going. So that will lead to the uphill movement. There is a, like a hill. So automatically it will make certain angle with the horizontal road. Okay, horizontal road. So when uphill movement of the vehicle is there, automatically the center of gravity that is due to the mass and gravity that will be acting. Okay, downward direction, but as per the vehicle dimension, as per the vehicle direction, and as per the vehicle where it is having a contact, tires are having contact, we can able to have mg cos alpha and mg sin theta. This is in the axis. So automatically, this is where in the downwards it is acting towards the ground mg. Okay. So when this vehicle in uphill movement, automatically whatever may be the force, okay, that will, even though the velocity of the vehicle in the uphill direction, remaining all the forces that will make the particular vehicle to down. Okay, so automatically on the wheel, okay, on the wheel, the acceleration force that will make. So even though this velocity is try to make, because the mg is try to pull down the vehicle. So whatever will be the tractive effort I have to given, so that tractive effort, which mean I should not calculate only to make movement of this vehicle. I have to take an additional to this external forces also. Okay, so this is called resistive forces. So my tractive force. So automatically, what will be the acceleration? Acceleration is nothing but dv by dt. So because we are talking about the Newton's second law, means here if I have to give the velocity, that velocity will be decided by the propulsive force that I have created in the vehicle. Okay. But as per the Newton's second law, F is equal to ma. Okay. So that acceleration is nothing but dv by dt. Okay, so that is a what is a change in the velocity with respect to time. Okay, so that I have to create it means the tractive force, and what is the force that is acting against the tractive force? We can term it as a resistive force divided by the mass of the vehicle. Divided by the mass of the vehicle, that is giving the acceleration. That is nothing but whether because of this velocity with respect to time, there is an acceleration happening or not, that is purely decided by the external forces. That is called resistance, rolling resistance. So there is a three kind of resistance are there. That is a rolling resistance. So that is offered especially in the tire. Okay, so rolling resistance and the aerodynamic dragging. So that is what I told. The coefficient of dragging of the vehicle normally should be 0.2 to 0.49 like that. I already told that Tesla is having a why Tesla is capable of, apart from that electrical side, why it is capable of achieving very high speed and all, because of that particular coefficient of dragging is they are reduced to 0.24. That is very easily it can move. Okay, so a very rough vehicle cannot move with that much. What are the tractive forces we are creating that cannot be converted to a complete velocity because of the particular aerodynamic dragging. Okay, so this is aerodynamic dragging also another one force that is against the particular velocity of the vehicle, and of course uphill resistance. Uphill resistance. So when a vehicle is trying to move, suppose if I assume that this vehicle in the ground position, plain position, not uphill. Okay, the normal horizontal only means definitely there won't be any force that is acting on the vehicle which is pulling down. Okay, because it is if both sides forces are same. Okay, there won't be any movement. But when the uphill movement, automatically uphill resistance also will be added. So commonly speaking, rolling resistance and aerodynamic dragging, these are all the main two forces acting on any vehicle. In case of uphill movement, there will be uphill resistance also will be added. So we should know these things. Okay, we should know these things actually because you are all not belong to mechanical or automobile engineering students. So some fundamentals only it is needed. Okay. So in this case, what will be the effort? What will be the effort? Okay. So we will see. So in a vehicle, several forces act on it, and the net or resultant force governs the motion. Suppose if you assume that in the tractive force you are giving for the vehicle, it's very less than whatever may be the forces that is acting on the vehicle against the tractive force that may be pulled down. Okay, maybe aerodynamic dragging, uphill resistance due to that, and due to the mass. Okay, and mass and whatever the uphill resistance is more, this angle is more because of that uphill resistance is more. Automatically, the tractive effort will not be sufficient. Okay, so automatically as a result of that the particular resistive force will be more than tractive force. What will happen? The vehicle will be, even though we have applied a particular force that will create a velocity, that as a result of that, the acceleration is not sufficient. The vehicle will be moving downwards. Vehicle will be moving downwards. So we have to very much careful. Okay. So because the vehicle has to be designed and manufactured in such a way that in every situation, every situation, it should listen to the driver. Very important, very important. Colloquially, we are saying that what is a good vehicle design is nothing but a vehicle. It is listen to the driver very precisely and act accordingly. That is a good design. So if I am the driver, I want to move the vehicle in uphills in certain kilometer speed. I am turning the vehicle, okay, in this much angle, left side, right side. I am putting a brake. So whatever may be the desire of me, okay, that should be carried out by my vehicle. That is a good design. So suppose if I'm try to move my vehicle uphill, okay. So with some 30 kilometer speed, I want to move it, but actually it is not possible. Means there is a problem in there is a flaw in design. Likewise, if I am trying to move the vehicle, with some 10 kilometer speed, my vehicle is stopping, or my vehicle is going back instead of moving in uphill. There is upward direction. It is trying to move downward by putting a brake on. I am stopping me. That is not a proper design. So I have to design considering all these forces which is against the tractive forces. Okay, so that is the meaning. That is the meaning only in a vehicle, several forces acting on it, and the net or resultant force governs the motion according to the Newton's second law. The propulsion unit of the vehicle delivers the force necessary to move the vehicle forward. As a result of that, I have to overcome. I have to overcome this all the resistive forces against that with respect to by the given mass. Okay. So what is a mass I have given? With that, I have to able to move, accelerate further. Okay. So automatically the vehicle will be moving upwards. Okay. So that is the concept only that is given here. So these are all the four important, okay, so factors on which the acceleration depends on. Okay, these are all the four important things above which only acceleration. Very first one is the power delivered by the propulsion unit. As I already told, if power delivered by the propulsion unit is not capable of overcome. So actually, if first we have to assume that even in uphill, if it is a standstill, there is a possible standstill is possible by means of using a proper braking or gear arrangement. We can able to keep the vehicle in a standstill position. From the standstill position, whenever I decide to move the vehicle, okay, in upward direction, especially in uphill movement, automatically what will happen? I have to produce power, propulsion power, which should be more than the resistive power for the given mass, for the given mass or weight of the vehicle. So that much we have to decide that much. Because when we are having it in a horizontal position, horizontal or in a normal plane, okay, normal plane, automatically the power delivered, okay, so may not be that much because automatically in both the side there will be some aerodynamic tracking only will be there, rolling resistance will be there. So you should be able to distinguish the difference between the operating the vehicle in uphill direction and as well as in a normal plane. In a normal plane, there will be only two challenges. It is nothing but rolling resistance and another one is aerodynamic tracking. But when the vehicle, we have to prepare or we have to design a vehicle in such a way that the third category also we have to take into consideration, that is called uphill resistance. Okay. The aerodynamic tracking also it is creating. Okay, it is creating very high pressure. So when the vehicle is moving, automatically, so air. So through air only it is moving. So in front of the vehicle, there will be high pressure is created because of we are overcome that aerodynamic tracking and all. So backside of the vehicle will be low pressure. Okay, so there will be pressure difference will be there because of the we are created that then only the vehicle will be keep on moving. So for that, nowadays we know that in order to have a very high, if you want to have a very high velocity in the sense speed, if you want to have, so there should be a proper arrangement for improving. Okay, so that means aerodynamic tracking should be so the coefficient of tracking should be very, very less. So usually from point 0.2. So if you go less than point 0.2, what will happen? There will be skidding may be happen. So point 0.2 to point 0.4 or 0.49 is the value that they are preferring. Okay. And second important parameter on which it is depends on is the road condition. If road condition is very, very soft, very smooth, okay, so or it is slipping of the vehicle is possible means even though you are having the now the road resistance offered by the road is not even a minimum required level. So automatically what will happen? The propulsion power may not be help the vehicle to completely make it as a tractive effort because the tractive effort propulsion power we are producing inside the unit using either by means of a motor or by means of an internal combustion engine. That force is converted as a tractive force. Where it is converted as a tractive effort? In the tires only, where it is having contact resistance. Okay, that is called rolling. So that rolling resistance should have a minimum value, certain value. If goes beyond that, what will happen? Automatically, as I already told, whatever may be the contact area between the tire and road, if I'm making the contact area, I can able to divide that as a two region. Okay, one is a leading and trailing part, leading region and trailing region. Okay, so but now suppose a vehicle is moving in a normal running. If a vehicle is moving automatically, so the resistive, okay, the tractive effort is coming more will be in the leading, and trailing will be it is taking so less than that. So if you compare the tractive effort which is apply on the contact area between the tire and thing, in normal running, in leading only it will be more. If you take and divide that, leading only will be more. In trailing it will be less. But if you taken a very soft roads, okay, so where the rolling resistance is offered by the road is very less, a complete tractive effort will be coming into the leading side only. Okay, leading side only. So automatically that lead, so trailing side also should be there. Effort, some effort should be taken. So if that there is no anything, that means automatically that will lead to the slipping of the vehicle. Okay, so the road condition is very much important. Any vehicle to perform well and to manage. Okay, so if it is want to listen, if you want to make a manufactured vehicle which is listen to the driver who is driving that vehicle, it's not only depends on the maximum effort that we are putting on the effort of that is to run the vehicle very successfully, and road conditions. Beyond that, in our country is road condition. And next two is very important, that is aerodynamics of vehicle. Aerodynamics of vehicle, that's what I discussed earlier. The next one is the composite mass of the vehicle. Composite mass of the vehicle. So automatically when the vehicle has to exposure to very high velocity, okay, if you want to have design very high velocity, so automatically, so it is having a lot of components. Okay, a lot of components, different materials will be there. So composite mass, what is the mass of the vehicle, total mass of the vehicle, so it depends on that also. So motion and dynamic equation for vehicle, okay, that is the force of the propulsion unit, helps the vehicle to overcome the resisting forces due to gravity, air, and tire resistance. Okay, that is nothing but rolling resistance. Sometimes um, in engineering terminology also, sometimes we are using this type of colloquial way of terminology. Okay, so actually it is not tire resistance. Very often we are saying, but actual correct terminology is rolling resistance. So, okay, what is the rolling resistance? Gravity and air. So that is nothing but aerodynamic dragging. So when the gravity will be coming to the picture, always gravity will be coming to the picture. That is decide. Okay, that is only decide the mass of the vehicle. So you know what is the difference between mass and gravity. So what is the weight? Okay, so that is multiplied by, okay, so that kilogram. Okay, that will be giving a mass. When the vehicle in uphill direction, okay, uphill direction, in addition to that rolling resistance, there will be uphill resistance only. So that is why we have taken a challenging case. Okay, challenging case. So if possible, you can take down, you can note down this diagram. Okay, so very importantly, this is a ground. This is a ground which is, so there is another one road is it is leading from this ground, which is in the uphill direction. Okay, like in the hills area, you can see that. Okay, if a vehicle has to move in this direction, if with a velocity, wind force, okay, wind force will be that is making down. So because of that acceleration, and whatever may be the resistive force that is offered in the rolling, okay, that is also making some type of torque, okay, in terms of newton meter against the tractive force. So both uh, front and rear tires, rear wheels, okay, that will be happening. In addition to that, mass of the vehicle also playing important role with that multiplied by gravity, that is will be in the exactly, okay, perpendicular to this. But whereas mg, this, what is this line? Mg cos alpha, this line is mg sin alpha with respect to this one. Okay, if you know the distance between the center point of the front wheel to rear wheel, if it is L, automatically, so this line, whatever the mg cos alpha, that line that is dividing this length of the LA and LB. Okay, so so automatically, usually, this will be playing very important role in the tractive effect. Okay, I will explain. So this is you have to take. So if possible, you can take it. Okay. So the second diagram. So second diagram. Now I am coming to the roll. Okay, so of a wheel. Okay, roll of wheel. So in a normal standstill, as I already told, normal standstill. Okay. So because of the mass of the vehicle, okay, it is standing. So it is not really having a contact on single point of the wheel. If you see any tire, if you see practically any vehicle, okay, we have used tires only. Inside that we are filling air. If you see that, if it is a road, and a certain portion of the particular tire may be undergone some deformation compared to the rest of the position of the tire. If you see that there will be a deformation occurs, so that deformation occurs. It is not only why it is occur, because the weight of the vehicle lead to the pressure. It is giving some pressure. Okay, through the particular pressure, it is transferring the particular pressure on the ground. So we know that as per the Newton's law, every action having a equivalent and opposite reaction. As a reaction, ground is offering some force. Okay, that is called PZ. Because of it, there is a deformation happens. In the point contact point, you cannot see that it will be. So if really, so I will explain. If really, uh, if really speaking, ideally, if you are ideally speaking, any vehicle, it should have a point of contact on single place only. Okay, so that means nothing but okay. If I am assuming that, so if as per the theoretical command set, this is a circular in nature. Circular in nature. If I am bringing, okay, so any line, okay, which is not intersecting but which is touching the particular circular is, may have may have only contact points only, if you want to have. But in actual practice, because practically, because of the heavy load, okay, heavy weight of the vehicle, it is creating certain pressure on the ground. Okay, so if ground not doesn't offer any pressure, okay, that is possible theoretically. But as per the Newton's law, every action having equal and opposite reaction. So because of it is also offering a force which is also along the line of pressure. At standstill, what will happen? This will make some pressure on the contact points. So that is make deformation. This is called. That's why in Z I have mentioned. So actually, this point is contact, but up to this much distance, it is deformations happen. So you can see that from the rest of the side, if you see the wheel, here the deformation will be taking place. Why? It is ground is offering that. So this is whether we need or not, definitely we need, because this only help us, whatever may be the propulsion power we are creating. Okay, we cannot move the vehicle, so all the other forces can be overcome. But whenever we want to overcome the rolling resistance, this is a point where really attractive force is applied. How we are walking, like that, similar to that, how we are walking, we are making one step, complete resistance we are having, we are taking another one step. So by brushing, okay, each place. Likewise, The tractive effort here only, it is really whatever the propulsion power that is applied to a vehicle and make the vehicle to run. Okay. So in normal position, if I'm taking this one, okay, so especially if I'm taking that is this region, suppose a vehicle is assumed that it is going to move in this direction. Now it is standstill. So as I already told, whatever may be the area, whatever may be the deformation area that is happening in the contact between the wheel and the road, I can able to divide them as two different regions. Okay. Suppose if a vehicle is moving in this way, this is called leading leading region. This is called trailing region. This is called trailing region. So when the vehicle is moving, whatever may be the tractive force, okay, it will keep on having it. But whenever it is there, it is trailing. Through this region, it will be trailing. So automatically vehicle is moved. So it will be transferred. It is transferred to the circumference of the particular vehicle, which is going to be next undercome. Okay, next undercome the particular deformation. So the deformation is also not going to be fixed. Okay, when the vehicle is moved, because of that wheel is rotating. How the wheeling is rotating? Because of the tractive effort. How the tractive effort is applied? Whatever the propulsion power we are creating, that is applied to the wheel through wheel, it is reaching that. So because of the movement of trailing, okay, trailing region to that is leading region to trailing region, they keep on the power conversion is taken place. So automatically that will lead to the particular vehicle to rotate. So this is how the vehicle is really rotating. So when normal condition equally, this will be equally. So whether suppose if you see that this area, if you see that I can able to show it. If you see that a small curvature area is there, no, you can able to see. I can able to highlight the same with the blue color. That means this region, it is keep on going. This region only is going to make under deformation. If you're really seeing that, it will not be circular. Almost it will be like due to the resistive forces offered by the ground. So due to the that is equal to the opposite to the mass of the weight, it will be somewhat a deformation is happening. That area is keep on going to have a transfer. It's in the vehicle, okay, of different parts when it's running. So that will tractive force is taken by the leading region and given to trailing region, okay, and it will keep on getting the next coming tractive force, okay, tractive effort from the vehicle. So this is how the vehicle is keep on moving. If you see, if what is the behavior of the tires, they are not exhibiting. Suppose a pressure is applied. Suppose a pressure is applied. Okay, so based on the pressure, if the deformation can be increased, suppose if assume that in a standstill, more passengers are occupying. Okay, apart from the dead weight of the vehicle, so this deformation is due to the dead weight of the vehicle. Now assume that some 5 or 10 passengers may occupied the particular vehicle. So each may having a 50 kg or 60 kg weight means around 300 kg. Now what will happen? This pressure will be increasing. Because of this pressure will be increasing through this axis that is transferred to the ground, the opposite and equal and opposite reactive force will be generated. That force will be so automatically the area under deformation will be keep on increasing. Okay, that way when we are unloading the vehicle, so likewise all the passengers are one by one they are getting down or going away from the vehicle or just left the vehicle. Okay, one by one means the same way. Okay, the deformation is not getting back. It is following a hysteresis. It is following a hysteresis. That's what here I have shown in the particular diagram, especially if I'm able to draw, okay, so between the deformation and what is a force acting on that? P, force acting on that. If you compare to the P1, okay, so automatically this is going, keep on going. If a pressure is keep on increasing, it is keep on going like this. when this pressure is decreasing, when the pressure is decreasing in the same way it is increasing, it is not following in the same line. Okay, it is following in another one line and reaching, okay, to the original position. So that is why the deformation is taken place in the hysteresis. This type of structure or this type of graph we are calling as a hysteresis. Okay, because this is very important, we have to take it, because when the tractive effort is there, when the tractive effort is there, the way it is loading, okay, it is giving a deformation in one way, but the way in which it's unloading, if you see that the deformation is not happening immediately switched over there. Actually, if you're speaking rightly speaking, this point, okay, so this point, okay, so for this point of deformation, okay, this point of deformation, if I'm taking this as a 1p, okay, this is happening when unloading. The, for the same, this deformation is remains same, okay, remains same for the loading point of this one, okay, for the loading point of this one, say for example this one, okay. So for this one and this one, it's the same deformation thing, because this one is loading when the loading is happening. This one is when the unloading happening. So this hysteresis is forming. Okay, this hysteresis is forming. So we have to take into consideration of this also, because deformation is not uniform when the loading and unloading. So that point also we have to take. So now I think we can ask any clarification. Is there any clarification? Any doubts? Hello? People are there? Is there any clarification? Doubts?
Yes, sir.
No. Okay. So anybody joined from mining? I
Yes,
think
sir.
may know who is
Amala
there?
Besto.
What's her name? Amala?
Amala Besto.
Amala Besto. What
Besto.
about your classmates, Amala Besto? Remaining three? They joined or not?
Sir, I think don't know. Sir, today don't know.
Okay, okay, okay. Have you received the information yesterday that is today onwards your names will be included? What you did last week?
Sir, we entered the class, sir, but no option is showing that attend class like that.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's what
In
they
the
told.
timetable, one option is showing us, sir, attend
Okay,
class.
okay. Uh.
Only teaching, sir. Only teaching plan only showing, sir, for us.
Okay, okay, okay. That's what they told, that they are not able to map your name until yesterday. Then yesterday
Sir.
only, evening only, they have mapped your names. So anyhow, I will send some last three classes materials. That is purely introduction only. Okay, if
Okay.
possible, we'll.
But
I think you can
today I
download
will
the
inform.
videos. Also.
Okay, sir.
Today
Today
you
I will
inform
inform
remain.
all the students. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Remaining
all the
students.
remaining three students also inform them, because they are
Yes, sir.
monitoring completely. Attendance is under automated control. Okay, automation, attendance in automation. So they are monitoring when you are coming, when you are leaving. So maybe some 5 to 10 minutes only tolerance, any network problem like that they're planning. Okay, so you
Yes,
should
sir.
be very cautious. So inform that three students also from
Yes, sir.
maybe next week onwards they should attend.
Yes,
Any other
sir.
clarification from others? Mechanical engineering students? Mechanical, nautical students?
No, sir.
No. Mining, petroleum engineering, food processing, technical. Food processing students, are you able to understand, follow? Food processing students. Okay. Have you studied already? That is electric drives. That is nothing but motors, power electronic converters. Have you studied any courses, machines already?
No, sir.
No, okay. So now you are able to follow, no, because as I already told, it is completely the syllabus is prepared in such a way that it is addressing the important concept those who are not belong to electrical engineering students. So very very qualitative treatment only. Okay, so there is won't be any quantitative treatment like a very big derivation, very big problems like that. So very easy only you can able to understand once you follow that. Okay, okay, we will continue.
Okay. Okay.
So this is very important. That also we have to take into consideration, as I already told. Okay. So when suppose if I'm assuming a vehicle is moving, okay, vehicle is moving in forward direction. Say for example, if I'm moving a vehicle in a forward direction in this way, in this way, what is really happening? So the leading region, okay, leading region, okay, that will be increasing than the trailing region. Okay, so this is when a normal resistance is applied. So rolling resistance, okay, especially the ground is offering a very normal road like that. If you are taken the consideration, automatically when the vehicle is in move, okay, trailing leading region will be more than trailing region. So automatically it will keep on getting the leading tractive effort from the vehicle. Okay, automatically through trailing it will be going out. Okay, so earlier, if you see that the same will not be there. Here, the center of point will be here. Okay, now it is moved. This region is completely changed. Okay, suppose so. This is a difference I have shown. This is a difference. A is a difference. Okay, so here also the deformation can be measured. Okay, so here also the deformation is keep on occurring. Okay, so usually when the vehicle, okay, in the particular velocity it moves. Okay, so automatically from equal trailing and leading region is changed to more leading region than trailing region. That you have to understand. But if the road condition is, if the road condition is uh, somewhat very soft, okay, smooth and etc., means there won't be any leading region. So completely there is a possibility of skidding. That's why what is the use of trailing region is very safely the track to effort is become zero. Okay, and leading region is keep on receiving the track to effort, and here through that trailing it is very safely smoothly. But when the soft road is there, okay, slippery type, very slipping type of road, it is offering a very smooth thing. Okay, so in that case what will happen, there won't be any presence of a trailing region. So this has to take about taken the track to effort, and it's through this alone is it is going to end with the trailing also. So I can able to show here there is a switching of the opposite force that is offered by the ground for the pressure by the vehicle. You can able to see the difference. There is no any completely compared to the previous one where we are using hard surface or normal road surface where there is some portion of region, only a small difference is permitted. So only a small difference is permitted. But whereas if you are seeing that very soft region, automatically huge difference is there because of that. Completely it will went to the leading region only. Okay, so automatically here what will happen, because of that trailing region is not available, wheel may rotate but without any movement. There's a chances of if you are applying a more velocity or more tractive effort we are creating, that will be converted, okay, through the ground. Here only it will convert as a tractive effort. Propulsion power we are creating, that propulsion power will be transferred to the wheels through wheel where we are having a contact with the surface ground, okay, where the deformation is happening. Through that only we are transferring. So here only we are transferring the vehicle to move. Track to effort is conversion taken place. So that doesn't have any trailing region, means automatically there's a possibility of wheel may be rotating without moving. So that is why we have to take in about. So in this region, what will happen is there will be a slight increasing in the deformation also more. Slight increasing in the deformation also. Okay. So this is we have to understand. So after any clarification in this four diagram, first we have seen normally in uphill movement of any vehicle. So this is about the fundamental of vehicle propulsion. Okay, we will see and braking also. So automatically in any vehicle, so if you want to have the particular vehicle to move with a particular velocity, so there is a three different laws. Laws of motion, Newton's laws of motion, that is governing the behavior of any vehicle. Very first one is what is the very first one? So every vehicle, if they want to be in the standstill position, they will be want to be in stand position, running position until the external forces apply to that. Retain this, so that is called law of inertia. That is also here. If I want to move a vehicle which is in a standstill, okay, which is in a standstill, that too in the ground position, it will be want to that same position only. I have to overcome the moment of inertia. That's why I have to produce more torque than the velocity and than the speed. So that torque will make the particular vehicle to move automatically. Once the vehicle is moved starts, it will be tend to be the tendency of the vehicle will be changed from standstill to continuous rotation. After that, we can reduce the torque. We can keep on concentrating on the speed. That is what in a conventional way we are doing. Okay, so Newton's first law also is there. When we are using Newton's second law, so if the force is F and mass of the vehicle is M and acceleration A, so I have to create a force in such a way that will overcome all the other forces which is against the tractive force. If you see any vehicle in the physics, so there are so many forces that is can acting on the vehicle that can make against that. That will be classified as a three important category. One is the rolling resistance, okay, rolling resistance of the vehicle, and second one is the aerodynamic dragging, and third one is the uphill resistance. So uphill resistance will be coming when the vehicle is want to move the vehicle in the hills area, upward direction. So that it is making some certain angle with the ground, normal plane. Okay, in that case, the particular uphill resistance will coming. In the remaining cases, uphill resistance will not be there. These two forces will be acting against that. So if I want to create any force which is affecting, okay, I have to apply external force which is affecting the particular want to affect the acceleration, means in terms of velocity only it can affect. Okay, so that is why we should know what is the dv by dt. dv by dt is nothing but what is the tractive force minus what is the resistive force divided by the mass of the vehicle. Okay, that is making the acceleration. So that is enough. So why where the tractive force is really converted, propulsion force is converted as a tractive forces in ground only, where it is making a point, there only we are able to convert that. Here in a standstill, I can able to see that because of the dead weight of the vehicle, there will be a considerable amount of pressure is applied, that is making certain deformation. Like theoretical speaking, it is not having a contact in single point, because as per the Newton's third law, every force, okay, will create equal and opposite reaction. Every force, every action is creating equal and opposite reaction. Okay, so because of the opposite reaction by the ground, it is making a deformation. Okay, on the tire. Okay, so in the standstill, that can be identify two region. It is having a leading and trailing region, but whereas if you see the deformation of the tire, it is also not happening in a uniform way when we are loading the vehicle, unloading the vehicle. Okay, so when we are loading the vehicle, it will keep on creating some pressure. Okay, and corresponding deformation is happening. Okay, but it is not following when unloading the vehicle. It is following a different pathway. It's following a different pathway. But anyhow, when the pressure is reached the initial value, it is having some same. Okay, assume that zero pressure at zero pressure. Okay, so this is when we are loading the vehicle, this is a way or pathway it is following for the deformation. When the vehicle is unloaded, this is the way it is following. So it is making a hysteresis. That also we have to take into consideration. Likewise, when the vehicle is moving, okay, suppose in this direction, it tends to move automatically. So there will be a tractive force region will be in leading region is more than trailing region, but trailing region also here only it is safely transferred. So the tractive force, propulsion force is received and converted as a tractive force and given to wheel, it is keep on moving. But what is happening in the slip is where the soft surface, smooth surface. Okay, so in that case, there is absence of a trailing region or very small, depends on the softness in nature, very small only. That will lead to the particular wheel to rotate, but it will not convert it as a tractive effort to move the vehicle. So that also we have to take into consideration. So considering this, considering this, um, we have created we come to know going to have two different equations. Suppose if you want to have vehicle acceleration, so vehicle acceleration, that is dv by dt, is total sum of the tractive effort and total sum of the resistant effort. Okay, resistance offered by the vehicle divided by the delta m. Okay, that is m is nothing but mass. V is the vehicle speed, total tractive effort in Newton meter, total resistive forces in Newton meter, and m is the total mass of the vehicle, and, and delt, okay, is the mass factor for converting rotational inertia of rotating components into translational mass. This is a constant. Okay, this is a constant. Okay, any composite mass of the vehicle, so we can able to, this is a number. Okay, even number. So that will be multiplied by mass. So if I want to know the acceleration, if I want to know the vehicle acceleration, I should calculate this one. After that, if it is a net is a positive only, the vehicle will be move in the upward direction. Vehicle will be move in the upward direction. Likewise, when the moment when I'm having a vehicle movement, okay, when I movement, so shift of the resultant ground reaction force. Ground reaction force is no, so that is called a rolling resistance moment. That is decided by the equation TR is equal to PA and MGA, where TR is the rolling resistance, okay, that is a rolling resistive force, okay, that is in Newton meter, and P is the normal load that is acting on the center of the rolling wheel, that is in Newton, and M is the mass of the vehicle, and G is the acceleration constant, Newton per second square, and A is the deformation of the tire. So deformation of the tire. So if you want to calculate what is the rolling resistance force, okay, I should have what is the weight of the vehicle and what is the deformation of the tire, how much deformation in terms of meter is happening. Okay, that in turn can be calculated by mass multiplied by the gravitation that is acceleration constant, and as well as deformation time. So this is the two important derivation I can able to we can able to show. First one we got it from the first figure, okay, where we have assumed force. Okay, in uphill movement, force is applied, vehicle has to move. Against that force, there are a lot of three different kind of forces is acting: rolling resistance, aerodynamic dragging, and as well as uphill resistance. So that forces are all summed. Okay, as a separate tractive force is summed. What is the difference? If this difference is positive only, the vehicle dv by dt will be positive. Otherwise, what will happen? It will go back. Acceleration will be in the opposite direction, negative. So definitely the tractive force will be should be more. Okay, and divided by the mass of the vehicle. What is the mass that is decided? What is the magnitude? The mass is deciding the magnitude. Okay, of the acceleration. So this is a multiply. So next one is when the force is applied, propulsion force is applied. Okay, automatically that will make a tractive effort. The reaction force is called rolling resistance moment. How much is the reactive forces rolling resistance? Is this force is totally against the applied force. That we can able to calculate. That we can able to calculate by knowing the how much Newton meter it is having and what is the load in n Newton. Okay, so that is nothing but if you multiply with the 9.81. Okay, and mass of the vehicle and acceleration constant deformation we can able to use from these two what is the fr, okay, rolling force, a force acting on the center of the wheel which is required to balance the rolling resistance. Fr is nothing but tr already we have calculated divided by or dynamic radius of the tire. So that force, okay, to keep the wheel rolling, okay, at the center of the wheel, what is the force required, Fr, can be calculated by the TR, okay, the rolling resistance, okay, so whatever is the rolling resistance force divided by dynamic radius of the particular tire in meter. If you know that, we can able to calculate. That is nothing but we already know TR is equal to PA and R dynamic. So automatically FR, that is rolling resistance coefficient. They are saying that whatever the deformation of the particular tire divided by the rolling resistance, that will give the rolling resistance coefficient, because both in meter, okay, divided by meter meter, it will cancel, it will become a constant. So this will become a coefficient. So if you know the weight and if you know the rolling resistance coefficient, I can able to calculate FR. Okay. So with this, I'm stopping my presentation. Okay. So any clarification to this point?
Also,
Some conversation. Somebody asked doubt. What is that chat? Okay, Abhishek Ramesh present. Okay, I'll take attendance. Okay, first we will start the recording. Okay, we'll start afterwards. Stop recording.